Boys, hello, hello. How's it going? Mm. I really wasn't planning to stream, but Skill Kids was out, so like, alright, I guess. I was reading a novel, and I'm like, I don't want to stream. I just want to lay down in bed, keep reading my novels. I don't want to do shit. Alright. Lord of Mysteries? Oh man. It's been a hot minute since like I read that. After watching the anime, it did kind of make me want to reread it again, though, to be fair. Oh. Alright. What the fuck is up with this character? Let's see. Alright, what we got here?
I owe you a great debt for everything you've done for me. I promise to pay you back in any way I can.
Attacker. There's like 2 stacks there.
Just gotta do my best. No shortcuts.
It's like a rocket launcher, or like, okay. For 3 shots? Rocket launcher for 3 shots? Oh, let's see. By the way, I don't see YouTube chat. Is YouTube chat working? I just don't see YouTube chat. Yes. No, I fucking no, you guys are just dead. Never mind. Yeah. I give up on YouTube chat. You guys suck at like being alive. At least Twitch chat talks a lot more. YouTube is not even on screen? What do you mean? Look at the screen. You guys are there. Huh? Stop complaining. You guys have been mixed now. What the fuck? This guy thinks he's segregated. You guys have been there. At least I like the stream through. How many of you are not subscribed yet? That's what we need to know. There's some of you that aren't subscribed yet. That's what. Shake my head. Why are you not subscribed yet? The fuck? We gotta make these streams profitable. There has to be a reason why I would stream on YouTube, right? I'm subbed on YouTube. Alright, let's see what we got here. Submachine gun attacker. Burstery Ridge. Oh, that's so bad. Okay, let me ask you guys this. How many valid submachine gun burstery are there? I only can think of Quincy. Chisato. Alright, let's chill for a bit, okay? It's only been one fucking solo raid. Chill on the Chisato, dude. Alright. I'm doing my dailies a little bit. I was like, right before this thing, I even typed it, right? Like, I was typing in Discord. I was doing my daily before reset. Like, you know, Arknight's dailies and shit. I didn't even plan to stream, really. But I knew that the Skillcam was gonna be out today. But I just wasn't feeling streaming, because, like, it was... I was reading novel, alright? Like, when I'm like hooked into like a novel or manga or some shit, and it's like a while, you know, listen, I just don't feel like streaming when that happens, man. Reading Isekai Swap? It's not. No, it's not. It's not even Isekai. No, no. I'm reading. What's it called? Shepherd's Wizard. The fuck is that? Yeah, Shepherd Wizard. I'm reading the novel of it right now. They had a new manhwa being translated, and then obviously whenever I read the manhwa, catch up to it, I'm like, alright, let me read the novel. Yeah, it's a new manhwa. I caught up to the manhwa, so I'm like, alright, let me read further novel. Yeah. The novel has like over 200 chapters so far, so... And I'm relatively hooked to it. Yeah. I always appreciate it when it's not like fucking just fully isekai slop. That one was not isekai. But at the same time, what's the difference at this point between fantasy and isekai, anyways? What manhwa do I read? Other manhwa? So many. Anything that like Asuras can translates, I'd probably read a lot of them. Uh, 10 scraps, so having more than 4 homemade magazines crafted affects self. Crafts magazines out of scraps and gains a buff. Remove scrap. I think that's the thing. Hold up, it's in their animation.
I owe you a great...
There's two types of... There's a magazine, and then I guess this is the scrap. This one. Crafts 1 homemade magazine up to a maximum of 4. The effect is continuous. Attack 75% continuously times the number of homemade magazine. So maximum of 4. This homemade magazine. So 30% attack. Okay. Okay, so skill 1 is just basically 30% attack to herself. That's basically it. Okay. Alright, so how does she gain scrap? Gains a buff when obtaining scraps. This is about scraps 10 continuously after a maximum of 10. Activates when an ally or self destroys a destructible projectile. Oh god, why destructible projectile? It's not even destructible part. Oh, okay. There's parts here. Scraps +1. That means you don't want her to. Oh, wait, no, you can. So she can be with like Naruto or something. Not that it probably would matter. Well, whatever it is. Anyways, I mean, you're gonna shoot the projectiles for the most part anyway in Solar Raid. I guess it's not that big of a deal, you know. Missiles, like, you know, non-super projectiles, kind of like the missiles that come from Altizen or something like that. Activates when an ally or self destroys enemy parts. Scraps 5 continuously up to maximum 10. Okay. Okay, I see it. Alright, sure. So either projectile parts. When an enemy is neutralized, this is for scraps +2 continuously. Okay. But then that's not really gonna. That's not much relevant on bossing, I guess. Okay. I heard that elemental attack. What the fuck? Only 60%? Bro, even D has better amount than that. What the heck? There's no way you're releasing a fucking 2023 skill kit. Bro, D has 46%. How is 60%? Unless it stacks up. But that doesn't even make any sense. No, because it says it's obtaining scraps. Look, okay, D is even better because like D has superior elemental 46%. That's entering full burst for 15 seconds. Let's see the burst. That means it's basic. Charge time 0.4 seconds. 61% final attack. 250. 1 times the number of homemade magazine. Duration 10 seconds. So you need 40. So if you cannot stack up, because this scraps is like that's very fight specific, right? Having a destructible projectile or destroying an enemy part or enemies neutralized, these are very fight specific. So that means there could be fights where you're not even stacking up these scraps. So you're not even, and you need 10 scraps to get a homemade magazine. Every time you get 10 scraps, I believe. Yeah, whenever any kind of 10 scraps, you get the homemade magazine. So your maximum is 4. So you need to obtain 40 scraps every 30 seconds or something, or 26 seconds. Yeah, I would say 26 seconds. This is because we're bursting for 10 plus 13 plus 3 seconds. So every 26 seconds, you have to get 40 scraps. And like, what kind of boss can allow you to get 40 scraps within 2 burst rotation? Because this is only when restoring a parts, right? Okay, just to give you an example, right? Let's say on a Snow White, you know how often like Snow White bursts, right? Typically, it's like she bursts every 26 seconds, right? And every 26 seconds, that's typically the time, 26 to 30 seconds. That's actually, I guess 28 seconds, more closer to 28 seconds. But every time, right? Like basically every 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds, there's like parts that spawns. And usually those are the times when we get like parts or to destroy. So that means that typically a burst or a respawn time for a boss is every 30 seconds and only spawns 2. So you're telling me that like in possibly a 10-second within like when she can burst again, we probably only destroyed like 2 to 4 parts. That's only getting us 20 scraps. Oh, I'm trying to think where else can we get scraps then? Because you need 40 scraps to get to have like a full, to have like 4 ammo for homemade magazine, because you want to have 4 homemade magazine by the time she bursts. The magazines are not used up by her burst? Oh, so it's stacking. So it'll be a permanent... Okay. Removal condition. When the duration ends or all rounds have been fired. Oh, no. That's the burst removal condition.
No shortcut.
So the... Okay, no. So I guess it stays. Okay. Okay, that is a little bit better. So this is a permanent 30% attack, 16% elemental damage, and then I guess every time she bursts, this would be for 30% attack alongside with the burst damage. In that case, it might be good. But 43%. That means attack damage buffs are really good then. Because this 430% attack means that attack damage and damage taken increase would be really good with her. So you could like put her with like Brevity or some shit. What's is that? I don't know. Because basically her burst is at raw value without attack buffs or with just her self attack buffs. It's only 340 or 3.4k%. You have to realize a lot of the units are like what, sitting at 8 plus 8,000 plus on the burst. This also means that we cannot test her on shooting range. We'll have to test her in museum. I guess we can ask to borrow Altra's account. Yeah, raw attack that's a see basically everything before this is she's useless. Like these numbers are piss ass. Means that her being off burst sucks. And she has to burst. I don't know, because like even with 4.3%, I added the 30%. That's why I multiplied by 5.6. I guess it should have been 35, but I know it's 30%. Yeah. So 30% attack plus 430%. But that's why this was multiplied by 5.6. The 2.5 is 250% charge damage. 61 is the base final attack, and then you can get like 6 shots or 4 shots of it. That's why I multiply it by 4. And so, like, from the burst, not including the basic attacks that she's gonna do afterwards, but from the burst alone, it's only 340%. Is she meant to use Full Velvet? No, no, no. She doesn't. She's standalone. Because the main thing is for her to build up the scraps and get enough homemade magazine, or 4 homemade magazine. And once you have 4 homemade magazine, you want her to burst after, only then after that. I mean, you can burst with her earlier if you have to. But you need the homemade magazine, so then she can shoot 4 times during her burst. If she only has 3 homemade or 2 homemade magazine, and then you burst it with her, then she can only do the shots 2 times or 3 times. It's super conditional. I mean, to be fair, almost. Oh yeah, hold up. Let me think about this. No, there's a good chunk of wind raids that didn't have parts, right? Wait, both Queen... Yeah, fucking both Queen and Massive Object Cube barely had parts. Although, technically, they did have some projectiles you could destroy. It's too situational. You're definitely not gonna use her in freaking Union Raid. In Union Raid, there's barely parts or projectiles there. Shoot 1 magazine, have 40% all full burst. Bro, machine gun, submachine gun basic attack is dog ass piece of shit. The fuck? And also let it sink for a hot second. Charge time is 0.4 seconds. At like submachine gun shooting 20 per second, right? 0.4. So 8 bullets. At 8 bullets, you multiply that by 10.2. You only have 80%. 80% final attack. In that 0.4 seconds. Versus what? 854. So you want her to have the magazines. For 30% attack is big. You know, just like your mom. Like, here you guys go again. You see a big number and call it like, oh my god, it's so good. There you go again. I mean, this time around she's attacker, so... I think the 430% attack is stays. It's only the change weapon that after she shots that disappears. But the 430% should stay even after she releases all the shots. I mean, she would belong to either Bunny Aid or Crown. Wind could likely be using her still. Yeah. Well, that's the last Wind DPS that Wind needs. Actually, no. Because fucking mana sucks, I guess. So, I mean, should be used here. Okay, let's compare her to Chisato, right? But the thing is, like, the difference is Chisato, she has her buffs more consistently, right? And another thing is, like, she has this damage. She has this additional damage. She has a buff that's more consistent, and she has this additional damage, which means like buffers are still somewhat effective to her, right? Even though, I mean, she has her true damage. The thing is, for this one, I mean, buffers are technically effective on her, like attack damage and the damage they can increase, because she has like insane attack buff. So her being with likely Bunny Aid plus like brevity would be good. Technically, I could, yeah. Probably like more on 28 brevity. Yeah, that team 5 team, I could see her there. I mean, it's mainly just because there's no other wind unit. But another conditional unit, that's the issue. Because, like, if the boss doesn't have these, it's like, well, you might as well consider her useless if she doesn't burst. I don't like this conditional setups. Because, like, I mean, even if we look at, like, the previous solo raids too, right? These Moaziv object doesn't have parts. Solar Queen 01 doesn't have parts either. Like, even if somehow her damage is like, or rather, her setup plus like other buffers ends up being like a really good combination, because again, 30% attack, right, is like really good. And technically, a lot of like wind units do have a lot of like high multipliers, so she could be together with those other units or high attack multipliers. But and then you have a buffer that's like buffing attack damage and then damage taken increase. Like, technically she does have that potential, but like the best DPSs are the ones that have their own damage, attack damage that's like attached to it. And the reason for that is because the buffers are gonna be buffing that kind of better, right? Like, for example, when I was talking about Chisato, right? She has this every 48 attack, she has this additional like damage, right? And she doesn't. That's an issue. This is an issue for, in my opinion. She doesn't have something that's like adding additional damage. Okay, let's put it to context here. Without the attack percentage. Well, actually, let's count the attack percentage. This Roppy, when she is bursting, she immediately have a 2.8k. The moment she burst, there's already an immediate 2.8k immediately. Right? This is not even counting the attack buffs that she gets and stuff. And then she gets a bonus on projectile damage. And the thing is, the projectile attachment damage, it's every 120. So this 88%. 88 multiplied by 420. Why that's increase in damage. So 88 multiplied by or 50, and then that's every 120 normal attack, which means it's minus 60 times, right? So it's actually every second. So every second she deals an extra 88. That's just the attachment, not including the explosion damage increase. Oh, that's 150. Oh shit, there's 150. It's actually 589. And then another explosion, which is another 88 plus 176. 765. Because it's gonna explode. So I haven't even counted the attack buff also. Yeah. And that's every second, right? Every second means times plus 2.8. So Robbie's like doing 10.4, not including the attack multiplier, which is like 1.95, 20. And then we look at this bitch, right? It's 4. Where was the other calculator? I lost it. Yeah, I closed it. Right. It was 61 times 2.5 times 5.6 times 4, and then we shoot for essentially 2 seconds, and then we continuously shoot for 8 seconds. 8 seconds times 10 times 5.6. So after 3.4k, she's doing 448% from her basic attack. So you basically now obviously okay. There's I don't know how to tell. I don't know how to tell with you guys. But in 10 seconds, this is how much would she do? This is what the Robbie does in 10 seconds. Now, to be fair, Robbie is less susceptible to attack damage buffers, and this one is completely, because like Robbie has those projectile increases technically are additive instead to attack damage buffs, but how much attack damage buff does it take for this to make up for this? We're looking at you're looking at her receiving possibly 4 times more attack damage than what Rapi's receiving. Because if you apply both, like, you know, grave or something. Now it might be unfair to use Rapi, but like, let's talk about elemental advantage, right? Let's say effectively with elemental bonuses, they do 2 times their damage on neutral damages. So even if I times 2 it, right, it'll be like this. And then I multiply it also with, like, I don't know, like her being more effective with like attack damage buffs. Maybe 1.5 more efficient. I'll give her that. I'm just trying to figure out how I can. Why would I use her over, like, say, Rapi Red Hood or even Snow White Ha at this point? I I can't find a reason. It's like, why invest in her at this point if we're just gonna use the neutrals? Because the main difference between her and the other DPSs is that the other DPSs, they do have some sort of like attack damage buff of some sort, right? Like Liberalia technically has attack damage. I mean, if anything, SBS is the one that doesn't have attack damage buff. Technically, Liberalia has attack damage buff. She just have a little bit. She has a 20% attack damage there, and then if against a boss, she has 230% attack damage. I'll see with Alters once she's released. I'll see with Alters if he's gonna decide to spend on her. It's not looking good for his money. Oh dear. I don't even know if it's like ends up being worth. Probably a win in the future that she's perfect for, but then she still won't be used. Pretty good chance. And the only one probably even gonna be investing in her are probably people that are like super win mains. It's like right now I can't even justify why would I use her over like Snow White Ha, for example, right? Or even like an off element B3 Rocky. Yeah, why did I freaking go on for this stupid ass unit? I'd rather go back and like keep watching, reading my mangas. I'm in novels. Shake my head. You guys wasted my time. Read it on stream. I'm good, chat. I don't know. I guess we'll see, cause like, I don't even know if I can justify spending it on alt. If Ultras do decide to invest in her, if he thinks that maybe I'm doing my calculations wrong, but I have a hard time seeing that it's wrong, or rather, I have a hard time seeing if it's even worth it, because I could just, it's like we could just use Snow White Tower or Liberalia, right? Can't even like justify really. Best EH versus mana. Why are you guys making me spend on fucking units, dude? I mean, I do have a oh. Oh. I don't know. Best use for EH is in the probably gutters. Start saving your resources, chat. Don't do this to yourself. There's an anniversary coming soon in 2 months. It takes like 2 months. It takes like 2 months to save up for a character. I'll ask if Alters is gonna even bother spending on it, and then we can test and see if that's worth. Yeah, I don't know, cause like 430% attack seems nice and all, until you realize that submachine gun basic attack is so dog ass. Cause it's 10%, right? Wait, is she double hit? She's not double hit, right? She's not doing double hits. Yeah, it's a single hit. So here, let me level with you a little bit, right? Also, machine guns do 5.57, but they shoot 3 times faster than submachine guns. Technically, this is like 15%. right? So even though that submachine gun has a 430%, they're already 2/3 weaker than a machine gun because she's 10%. Right? So you process that. And then not having any additional multipliers or attack. So that 430% is effectively 2/3 only. So it's actually to 86% if you think about it on like in a normal attack basis. But that's just talking about the basic attack, but that's not talking about any additional damage multipliers that you're getting. Like this one, 120 normal attacks, you deal like additional, attachment damage. Yeah, no, again, I have bias against like units that don't have any additional attack multipliers, like skill damage multipliers. Like if they're just using the raw basic attack, I can't remember any unit that I would say that is good that doesn't have like additional damage. Like I'm trying to think right now. Which character? Oh, maybe Doro, probably. Yeah, I guess it would be Doro would be the last one where purely just because of like the bunch of like attack buffs and stuff like that she doesn't have additional skill damage that's actually good. No, Mihar is filled with skill damage. I mean, Mihar is filled with the skill damage. Right here. This is what I'm talking about. Like the skill damage, the something multiplier final attack, right? Basically attack units that rely on attack. I guess it would be like Bunny Milk, sorta, but not really, because like Bunny Milk. Yeah, I guess Bunny Milk technically. Actually, no, she has this. Oh no, but this is on when you're bursting. This is when she's bursting. Wait, no, she does have a little bit of extra stuff. Never mind. No. It's mostly when she's bursting, I guess. Yeah, like units very rarely. But the issue is like her multiplier outside of her burst is also kind of ass. Doro has a shitload of attack hit. Yeah, but also keep in mind, for the most part, she's also good because she is shotgun with a high hit rate, and also with Dove just gets attack buff multipliers. Like there's shotgun just have like better multipliers by default. Keep in mind, alright, so this 200%, alright, let's start off with the 200% attack in a single shot for shotguns. 250% is it takes, and then a shot is 1.5 every second, I believe. A shotgun shot's like 1.5 shots every second. Yeah. Meanwhile, to reach 200% for a submachine gun requires 2 seconds. No. 20 times 10. I guess it will require 10 seconds. Or 1 second. Yeah, because 20 bullets. But the thing is, let's see. Doro has an additional attack buff. This attack buff. Oh, she has a. This attack buff is every time you full burst. It's a lot more consistent damage. Console pieces or records for the shop? Oh, it's up to you. Consoles have more secured damage increase and end game damage increase, but if you tend to skip units, the records are not the worst. And you would only buy the records every so often. Or maybe once every year or two, or half a year. Basically, once you have accumulated enough units that you haven't bought with yet. Yeah, if you tend to skip. But if you get the characters consistently anyways, then I just buy consoles. The 430% attack. I don't know. I'm trying to think about that. Which one has the highest attack we have seen before? Asuka, right? But isn't it like 200 or something? She gains. Oh no, it's attack damage 150% and 90% attack. So 251. That's effectively like Asuka. Well, actually, it would be more closer to 300%. The difference is she's better off from attack damage buffers. but then also it's not. Wait, this is. No, it's more consistent to 100% for 25, and then yeah, for 10 seconds, this is more closer to 300%. As if it's like 300%, right? I don't think Velvet does anything to her either. What would Velvet do for her? The fuck? The charge damage buff? I don't. But it has to be an off burst Velvet also. I guess with her and Siren. So Velvet, Siren, plus some random B2, plus. But that means that we're gonna move Siren out of the combo with Rei, Asuka, and Rei. I could see it, but it's just. A bit on the weaker side. Anyways, I'll check with doctors if he's gonna invest in her so we can test. On the shooting range and your fucking scope lock ain't gonna work this time around, okay? We can probably test her. I'm sure we'll have some account that we can test her. It's 2 a.m. so I'm gonna bitch. All right, chat. Actually, I'm not gonna bitch because I'm gonna read some novels and. Anyways. I'm not very impressed on her kit. Very also. I feel like restrictive. I don't know if it's even worth if we can't like apply her skill set. Oh. Alright. I'll see you guys on patch day, night, or whatever it is.